All new this morning, Amazon is working to grow Black entrepreneurship all across the country through its Black Business Accelerator program. And the company is committing $150 million over the next 4 years to help thousands of Black entrepreneurs. The plan is to reach hundreds of millions of customers by selling products on Amazon. And there are also opportunities to apply for a $10,000 grant.
So there are three kind of primary buckets of the program. The first being financial support, where the grants would fall in. Also the services that are being offered, like free photography of your products for up to 50 of your products, as well as like business guidance and mentorship, which is a separate bucket. And then that's like the one-on-one account management.
This is another effort to bridge that gap between, well, some businesses and others. And family-owned Compact Industries out of Tucker, Georgia, they're already seeing a bunch of success through this program. If you'd like to learn more about getting involved in the program, Amazon has information online at amazon.com/BBA. An excellent opportunity, Chesley.
Yeah, sounds good if you want to get started with business. Yeah.